The ultimate general ground, betrayal of public trust. The specific allegation is alleged drug addiction of the president. And again, I would point out to certain sub-allegations and refute their insufficiency. Allegation number one, sub-allegation number one, there are serious accusations that PBBM is a drug addict. The offense alluded for this ground is drug addiction. Stating that there are accusations do not constitute factual allegations of the addiction. This ground presupposes that because PBBM is an addict or an alleged addict, he is unfit to be president. However, unfitness per se is not a ground for impeachment. And even when considered as constituting basis for betrayal of public trust, the statements in this ground do not sufficiently establish allegations on how specific presidential acts were impaired by PBBM's addiction, assuming the addiction to be true. Second sub-allegation, Senator Amy, the sister, admitted or alleged or announced that PBBM is a drug addict. Again, this is not a factual allegation, but a conclusion that because Senator Amy admitted or announced that PBBM is an addict, then he must be an addict. The most that can be made out of this ground is that there was betrayal of the public trust because of PBBM's failure to disclose his addiction. However, the recital of allegations to this ground is still insufficient in terms of showing the nexus. Kasi yun po importante. The nexus between the facts raised or alleged and betrayal of public trust. Public accusations of PBBM's addiction, Senator Imy's claim of PBBM's addiction, PBBM's refusal to submit to a drug test, and his silence on accusations of being an addict still do not constitute the factual allegations necessary to satisfy the legal exercise in the formulation of causes of action that, assuming that they were all true, they establish betrayal of trust. Another sub-allegation is the PBBM is a drug addict because he refuses to submit to a drug test. Again, this is a conclusion and not a factual allegation. Nasabi ko na rin po, that kind of an allegation is still insufficient. The fact that he refuses to submit to a drug test. Another is by being silent. Sabi sa complaint. By being silent on his drug addiction, PBBM betrayed the public trust. For me, Madam Chair, this is a non sequitur conclusion and not a factual allegation. Because the ground must not only state a categorical allegation that PBBM is a drug addict and that this impairs the performance of his mandate, but must also include a recital of the alleged acts, events, and incidents that support the same. How do they say, or how do they know, or why do they claim that it impairs his judgment? So that's again my view. Again, this second ground is insufficient in substance. I so submit. Thank you, Madam Chair.